Hi, my name is Nathan Olson, and I have been a victim of Instagram shadow banning. It all started when I started posting about a few weeks ago, and I noticed that my engagement started to drop significantly lower than usual. Over time, my overall engagement actually diminished where I had absolutely none. And throughout my time, it's been a struggle, it's been tough. I've been trying to find a way through it, but it might just be too much. I'm sorry. I need to go. Hey, what's going on, guys? Nathan Olson here from yourcharisma.com, helping you create your brand your way. On this channel, we do a lot of social media marketing help as well as digital marketing solutions. So if you have not already subscribed, please subscribe. In this video, we're going to be talking about how exactly does an account become shadow banned on Instagram, how to fix the Instagram shadow ban in 2019, and what causes the Instagram shadow ban in 2019. Find out all in this video. Now, I've been listening to the community a lot, and it looks like from all the comments that we've been receiving on a lot of our YouTube videos, people are still in the dark about the Instagram shadow ban. They don't know what's causing it, how to fix it, or why their account has even been shadow banned. All right, guys, to kick things off, first we're going to figure out what exactly is the Instagram shadow ban. Now, you guys may have heard a lot of this talk around the social media marketing realms and through a lot of your friends and other marketers, but you might not exactly know what the Instagram shadow ban is. Now, the Instagram shadow ban is essentially a timeout period that Instagram puts on your account in order to kind of either just throw a strike against you or to just make you aware that you could be breaking the community guidelines. And the reason Instagram shadow bans accounts is specifically to protect the integrity of their community and to protect the morals of their business. Instagram doesn't want to allow certain accounts to kind of flourish in their community because it's negative to their overall community and it's negative to their brand image. So in order to make the best of both, they've decided to integrate this type of shadow ban policy. And we first saw this Instagram shadow ban policy about a couple years ago when Instagram first started making changes to its Instagram Explore page algorithm. And with this kind of came a diminish in overall reach, engagement, and actual exposure on the platform. Now, what exactly happens when your account is shadow banned on Instagram? Well, when you're put in this timeout period, Instagram actually removes your account from any and all exposure on the platform, meaning that you won't show up for hashtags, you won't show up in the Explore page, and you'll only actually be visible to your loyal followers. So the way the Instagram Explore page algorithm works is that Instagram shows your content to your most loyal followers. If your most loyal followers respond positively to that content within a certain period of time, Instagram then increases the reach of your content. They start to push it to your least active followers, to those individuals that are following you but might not constantly be on your page. And if that audience group also responds positively to your content, Instagram then pushes it to the Explore page. This spiderweb network that is utilized for the Instagram Explore page algorithm is actually what allows your content to navigate through the overall platform. And when your account is shadow banned, you're actually only restricted to your specific follower range, meaning that your overall growth is going to be zero and your engagement may be able to kind of remain at a mediocre point, but you're really only going to be subject to those loyal followers because Instagram is not going to promote your content at all because you're in this shadow ban category. Instagram doesn't want to promote any of your content because you've been put on a period of timeout. Your content is restricted on the platform, and it's going to be very hard for you to gain any exposure, reach, or engagement because of the Instagram shadow ban. You know your account has been shadow banned on the Instagram platform if your overall amount of reach and exposure has seen an absolute cliff dive. Meaning that you could have been receiving about 30 to 70,000 amount of accounts reached on a normal basis, but now you're reaching about 100 to 200. I pulled up some account analytics from past accounts, and you can see that there is an absolute cliff dive when it comes to the actual shadow banning day. It goes from a serious amount of reach to absolutely none. And this is because this is the day that the Instagram decided to shadow ban my content. And the reason for this is usually because of a break of community guidelines. But if you're not sure if your account has been shadow banned and you're kind of wondering if your account is, there are a couple ways that you can check. Now, when it comes to checking on the Instagram platform, a shadow ban means that your content is restricted from the platform. meaning that other accounts that do not follow you should not be able to find your content on the Explore page or on hashtags. Therefore, you should post a piece of content on your Instagram feed, on your actual account feed, and you should create a very specific hashtag that not a lot of people are using. Once you post your content, you should post that hashtag on there, and you should ask people that do not follow you to actually look for your content on that hashtag community. If your content does not appear on that actual hashtag community, it's highly possible that your Instagram account has been shadow banned. Because of this, there's going to be a couple solutions that you can utilize in order to get rid of this, but we'll talk about that later. If you do see your content on the hashtag community, but you're still receiving a low amount of engagement and reach, this could be that your content is stale or that your overall content quality is poor. You should look at your strategy on Instagram and do a revision. When it comes to content on Instagram, it's been absolutely flooded with high quality content. In addition, your followers may grow accustomed to your content, finding it less interesting and less awesome as you go on through time. Let's say, for example, typically when you started out maybe a year ago when Fortnite was huge, you were posting Fortnite videos every single day and you had a ton of growth on the platform. Now, at that time, Fortnite was a super trending topic. It was an extremely viral video game, and almost anything that mentioned it got some sort of exposure and reach just because it had the word Fortnite in it. Now, about a year or two later, the overall amount of Fortnite hype is really diminished, and because you've been constantly posting Fortnite videos, your overall account has actually stagnated. People are just simply less interested in your Fortnite videos. They've moved on to other video games, and the overall hype has just kind of, faded out. And because of this, your overall content is now stale. So what you should be looking at is at a content strategy. You guys should really just understand that your content can go stale. You can see a reduced amount of engagement, reach, and exposure because of it. And in order to kind of fix that, you should look at some content marketing strategies. I'll link up some videos in the comment section down below, as well as some blog posts that will really help you kind of define a very strong content marketing strategy for your Instagram account. Speaking back to the Instagram shadow ban, even though your content might not show up on the hashtag, that doesn't absolutely mean that your Instagram account has been shadow banned. I've seen a lot of clients that have just simply seen a reduced amount of engagement, reach, and exposure, not due to shadow banning, but because of the overall amount of population on Instagram and the overall amount of reduced reach because of the Explore page algorithm update. Now, in summer of 2019, Instagram did a massive update to their Explore page algorithm that really reduced the amount of botting, auto likes, content schedule posting, and kind of all types of botting and automation. And because of this, we've seen a drastic reduction in the overall amount of organic reach and organic exposure. So because your content isn't ranking on hashtags, because your content isn't receiving the same amount of exposure, growth, and engagement as it was a year ago, it's not 100% Instagram shadow banning. It could be just the overpopulation of the platform. Instagram has been drastically oversaturated with users, high quality content, and influencers. Therefore, it's harder to kind of steal a little bit of market share from the niche or community that you're trying to attack and the target audience that you're trying to build. There's simply too many options for target audiences to specifically choose maybe just your account. Gary Vaynerchuk said it best. We're in an age of micro content, meaning that individuals are looking for very specific accounts. And because Instagram has been around so long, we actually have this decision. We have the opportunity. We have the choice to choose specific accounts that align exactly to our personal favorites or our personal choices. And that has just really allowed for the spread of engagement and exposure across thousands and hundreds of thousands of accounts, as opposed to being reduced to maybe just under a couple thousand accounts. And because of this is the reason that we've seen a real drastic reduction in engagement and reach. However, your account may still be shadow banned, and because of this, we're going to talk about a couple quick causes of why your account may be shadow banned, as well as some solutions you can use in order to kind of get out of the Instagram shadow ban. Typically, when Instagram is kind of enforcing their shadow ban policy, it's because you've broken some community guidelines or you may have triggered an alert on their actual alert system. I believe shadow banning has different levels to it. I've seen periods of shadow bans that last anywhere from 1 to 2 days, all the way up till 2 weeks, and even sometimes indefinitely. Now, this could be because Instagram has just been cracking down on the overall automation, as well as kind of people that are breaking those guidelines. So I'm assuming that the more strikes that you accumulate on your account, the higher the chance of shadow banning and the higher level of consequence because of that shadow ban. So let's say if Instagram had 3 different levels of shadow ban, let's say a minor shadow banning where you're only shadow banned for, let's say, 1 to 3 days, and then the second level is all the way up until 2 weeks, and then 3 is indefinitely. The more strikes that you accumulate over time, the higher your level is of that shadow banning process. Now, typically, I've seen throughout tons of clients as well as my own past experiences, I've only lasted 2 weeks, but throughout reading the comments and reading a lot throughout the community, I've seen a ton of people that have been shadow banned for months at a time. And I'm not exactly sure as to why your account is being shadow banned longer than others. I haven't done a deep dive or a case study into those actual instances, but my inclination typically leads to you're kind of trying to cheat the system through aggressive automation, even after Instagram had told you multiple times to stop. Now, the reason you could have been shadow banned on the Instagram platform is because you're posting content that does not align with the community guidelines. This could be aggressive weapons, nudity, and violent content, bloody content. There's a lot of content that is restricted on the Instagram platform. You should check up on the community guidelines to see what type of content is allowed and what type of content is restricted. Typically, Instagram will just block or remove the post if they don't believe that it belongs on the Instagram platform. I've had it happen to a couple of posts, and I simply just either change the photo, change the video for a slight different view, and I can still get the content posted. However, I would strongly suggest that you kind of change the narrative of the post to be a little bit more aligned to the platform. Let's say, for example, you're an animal shelter and you post some really gruesome and scary content in the respect that there are animals out there that are being abused by people. I don't agree with it. I think it's absolutely terrible, and it really hurts me to see those types of videos, content, and posts. Instagram has noticed that this type of post and this type of content really brings about a lot of negative emotions. Because of this, Instagram reduces the amount of exposure for those types of content. Listen, while the photo or video may be absolutely emotionally packed full of visual content, it's just not aligned with the Instagram platform, and you're dealing with their rules. They are the content dictator on this platform. And if you'd like to get your content posted on there, you're gonna have to make some minute changes in order to get the same delivery while still aligning to the Instagram rules and regulation. Another major reason that your account could have been shadow banned on the Instagram platform is because of your desire and need for automation. Automation prior to about a year ago was absolutely astounding. You'd be able to gain niche-specific followers, hundreds daily, just by having a little bit of automation on your account. This led to a massive amount of leads, sales, engagement, exposure, reach. However, because of the Instagram algorithm update, it's been reduced. Third-party applications have a really hard time accessing your account without throwing any flags or errors on the Instagram backend. I know this because throughout a lot of trial and error through software with my accounts, I personally kept getting password reset links being sent to my email, as well as other types of messages sent from Instagram telling me that, hey, your account may be compromised, you should change your password, blah, blah, blah. And because of that, that threw up a lot of red flags on my account, and I saw a serious diminish in the amount of engagement and reach because of this. Instagram is looking to make meaningful relationships between followers and account owners. When you use automation, you're kind of taking away that personability that was driven into the platform. And because of this, Instagram is looking to revitalize that personability by removing any and all automation. So if your account has been seen doing a serious amount of automation, there's a high likelihood that your account will get shadow banned. Maybe not now, maybe not in a week, but over time, Instagram is going to be getting a lot better at checking accounts for automation and really enforcing their community guidelines with that. And I don't want to see you guys lose your account because you guys want it to grow as fast as possible. I understand that automation is extremely useful and I wish it was still allowed on the Instagram platform, but you have to play by the rules if you want to keep those social assets alive. I've seen a lot of major Instagram accounts get shut down. Now, there is a third way that your account can get shadow banned, and it's something that typically is done by trolls or spammers or individuals in the community with some negative intentions. Instagram, in its all power, wants to give the users an ability to warn them if they find some content troubling or if they find an account that's been doing some mischievous acts. And because of this, Instagram users are able to flag either an account or a piece of content simply by hitting the 3 dots and reporting the piece of content. Now, because of this, if your account gets a ton of reports from a wide variety of users, your account will get put under review, and there's a high likelihood that if you're breaking any of those terms or if you're coming as a negative energy into the Instagram space, there's a high likelihood that you will get shadow banned or your account will get shut down. Although we have seen a ton of instances where there have been troll accounts that have come through and they have done massive reporting on specific accounts, but typically Instagram is really good about doing a review process of the people that have reported the actual content or account. So usually a lot of times with these trolls, they'll get a ton of random spam accounts to go and report your content. So in the sense, when Instagram does their review, they're not exactly going to trust all these reports because let's say there's been, 10,000 reports from usernames with a wide variety of random characters from Moscow or India or Pakistan or Bangladesh or somewhere random in Europe. It's these accounts that have been linked to typically high hacker rate countries and high spam countries. Instagram will do a review, and if it's seen that this could be a mistake, they won't actually ban or shadow ban your account. And that's thanks to the Instagram review process. However, you should be wary of those report systems, and you should always do your best not to cause any direct confrontation on your Instagram account feed, because you could spark an absolute report war, for the sense that if you piss off the wrong influencer or if you piss off the wrong follower, they could start a community force to start reporting your account for maybe not any reason at all. But just to avoid any and all headaches, just to do your best to your community, try to avoid any confrontation. You shouldn't jump into the comments section, being directly aggressive to an individual. Just try to come from the standpoint of them. Try to approach them with a positive and value-oriented type of manner. Even the most negative review, even the most negative customer can be converted into a follower, can be converted into a positive customer just through some talking, just through some dialogue, and just by understanding, maybe they don't fully understand what you were going after and you just need to better expose yourself to them. Okay, so we understand what the Instagram shadow ban is. We understand why it happens to specific accounts, but do you know how to solve the Instagram shadow ban? Do you know how to remove it from your account? Now, there are a ton of sources out there that have been giving out a ton of useful information. While there is an Instagram shadow ban, there is no direct answer to how to solve the Instagram shadow ban. There are a couple quick methods and tips that I've utilized in the past and that I've utilized with clients that have been proven to work, but they have not been authenticated by Instagram. And if Instagram is creating the shadow ban process, then they would surely create the Instagram shadow ban solutions if they wanted you to know how to get it removed or if there was a surefire removal process. However, through my time, I have seen that the 2-week gap is typically exactly the amount of time that the Instagram shadow ban lasts. There's tons of snapshots of accounts that have seen a decrease in engagement. It typically, on Tuesday, they'll have 70,000 reach, but on Wednesday, they'll have 100. 2 weeks later, on that same Wednesday, they'll reach and exposure will go right back up to 70,000. So we can see that time ban has just been set to about 2 weeks, where Instagram is restricting your content to your most loyal followers. And because of this, you should just wait it out. You should still be posting consistently on your Instagram account, both on your feed and your story. And you should also take this time to really connect well with your audiences and followers. Even though you can't reach new individuals and new followers, that doesn't mean you can't strengthen the relationship between your current followers and yourself. After all, these people are already invested in your content and your actual account. These are the best people to start opening up a dialogue with. Really strengthen those relationships, because the lifetime value of these customers is going to pay out far more than attracting and trying to attain new leads and new customers. It's always cheaper, it's always more efficient to focus on your current customer base as opposed to trying to reach new targets. Another way to kind of reduce the Instagram shadow ban is to absolutely remove all hashtags from your next current post. Typically, we still say wait the 2 weeks, but remove the hashtags from all of your posts, keeping only maybe very specific ones that are either to your business or brand. If they're not to your business or brand, completely get rid of them and just let your content just stay on your native feed. And this will actually restrict your amount of reach to only your localized community. And because you're already reduced to your localized community, this isn't going to impact your overall growth too much. We just want to kind of reduce the amount of publication of the same hashtags. Because if we talked about previously, Instagram really wants to crack down on automations. So for example, let's say you post 5 times a day and you use the same hashtags on every single post. Instagram notices this. Instagram starts to take account, and it could create a red flag on your account for a little bit of automation because you only post the same captions for every single post. And that's typical of an automation account or of a spam account. Now, even although you may be changing the first few lines, those last 1,000 characters, which is your bottom caption that says, follow this account, check out my story highlights, photo credits to blah, blah, blah. And then you have all those hashtags. That constant republication of the same hashtags will typically throw up red flags. So we tell clients and we tell customers and we tell people affected by the shadow ban to actually just remove all hashtags from your content unless they're brand or business specific. After a certain amount of time, you can start to reintegrate hashtags. I would say slowly start to integrate them back in by utilizing maybe 10 at a time, then 20, then 30, really focusing on the overall hashtag strategy. Now, there's a really good hashtag strategy you guys can use. I'm going to throw up a link in the description down below. Make sure to check that out. It talks about a stair-stepping method that has been utilized by a lot of big influencers, and I personally use it, and it has created a ton of growth for my account. The last way that you can kind of get around the Instagram shadow ban is simply by creating a business account on the Instagram platform and paying for advertisements. Now, Instagram may think they are able to kind of reduce the amount of growth and exposure on our account by creating an Instagram shadow ban for our content. But if we pay for promoted ads on their ads platform, they have to put your content in front of new individuals and new followers that have not seen your account. And because of this, you can start to attract new followers, new leads, and engagement specifically off promoted ads that you're just paying to run. And Instagram will start to expose your content to more people the more you increase your budget. So even if you are Instagram shadow banned, you should look to create an Instagram business account and find a couple pieces of really high converting content on your page and simply pay to promote them for the 2-week period. After that 2-week period, you should check your analytics to see if you are still Instagram shadow banned by seeing the overall amount of reach on your account. If your account is still shadow banned, don't worry. You're paying for the paid promotions. You're paying to grow on the Instagram platform. After all, wouldn't it be a little bit more efficient to pay for a certain amount of followers that you know you're going to get? Let's say, for example, you know from a piece of content that's got 1 million views organically is really going to go viral with $10 to $15, $20 a month put behind it on an Instagram promoted ad. Now you're able to attain about 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 followers just because the paid promoted ad went viral on its own and it still has the promoted push from Instagram because of your budget. Now, this is a great way to kind of hack the system to get around the Instagram shadow ban, but really the dormant state and the lack of hashtags and using paid promotions is going to be the best way to get around the Instagram shadow ban. That's going to wrap it up for this video, guys. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed. If you have any questions, concerns, or comments, please leave them down in the description below. I will be answering any and all. I hope you guys had a great time with this video. I thoroughly enjoyed making it, and make sure to stay tuned to the next one.